Juju Watkins, who is a part of the USC starting five with this current group. Quad one victory.
Yeah, right now they're 1-7 in quad one victories. They got a win over USC, coming off a win over UCLA. So can you take advantage of that emotional high that the Trojans might be playing with?
The country. It's a special pink game to raise breast cancer awareness, and El Ladine gets on the scoreboard for Washington.
Leading scorer for the Dogs. She's a great pull-up jumper, loves going right.
Kennedy Smith tees one up. Offensive rebound, and this Savia Sellers. Sellers says, don't you know something, Juju, about guards blocking shots, and she follows it up with a
one-on-one the whole game. I mean, she really did a good job. Single coverage defense on Juju, and everybody else filled in the gaps to make sure nothing looked open. They're going with a different approach.
That was a nice rip through. They've been working with her and elevating that release point a little bit. Dump down into Iria Fenn. A quick two, a good rim run early in the possession. Just off the front rim there, it was online. Here comes Watkins, ultra dangerous in transition, weaving through the defense, Juju Watkins.
Nobody better, really high up there in terms of percentile. But again, it's her length and her ability to handle the ball at 6'2".
And become a stronger finisher this year, 75% at the rim.
And Washington loves to push in transition too. They're 98th percentile in terms of points per possession when they're in transition.
Not going to shy away from that style of game. What a crash by Daniels. She's come to play. Delea Daniels on the floor, and it's a held ball, possession arrow situation. Gottlieb, her coaching style, but also features her 2-year-old daughter, Reese. One of her first words, you want to guess what? Juju.
Two-syllable classic. A lot of people around the country, I think, are saying that name right now, too.
It's relevant. Here she is. She loves this spot on the court, and that's why.
Yeah, that turnaround.
Watkins has to try and chase this down, and she loses it out of play.
And that's, I guess, the downside. Juju pushes so hard, and she kind of pushes forward.
This coming week, if USC can take care of business here today, but just they're the 1 seed possibility in the NCAA tournament, and they could fall with another win here right now. Make sure, again, they take care of business in this one is still a big if, but only Texas and South Carolina have more. USC and UCLA both have 8.
And important to note, like you mentioned,
75 net team on the road. This qualifies as a quad one. In the NCAA evaluation tool, the primary mechanism to judge who will be seated where in the NCAA tournament.
And here we see a zone from Washington for the first time.
Kennedy Smith answers the call against the zone with a corner 3.
Back to man.
Avery Howe kicks it to Kaylee Heckel, 2 great freshmen off the bench. Airmails the 3, but Kiki Iriafen was ready and waiting. Nobody better than Kennedy Smith defensively for USC, the freshman. Here is Ladine going downhill. Foul is called, and Ladine gets a trip to the free throw line.
Either she's going to make that lay-in or she's going to get fouled. It's more surface area, right, to get fouled than other guards. You see USC right there. I mean, Talia von Oelhoffen really getting up in Ladine's grill.
Nice screen by Eke. Sellers has to float that over Marshall, and she does.
Over the...
That was not easy. Von Oelhoffen off the fake, rattles it out, and Eke's right there with position. Daniels, the rim run, yes. Steins just gets herself open. Tipped back out nicely by Eke. Now they can hold for the final shot. Up by 1 on a 6-0 run. Sellers gets it off in time. And short. At the end of the first quarter, the Huskies take the lead.
They just added so much scoring talent. Some of the best players in the former Pac-12 came to USC.
Washington #1 in field goal percentage during Big Ten play, led by Ladine.
Kind of system she wants to run, but the shots they want to take as a team. And that also helps you with transition defense. The better shots they take on offense, the fewer transition buckets that USC gets going the other way.
A developing story, though, right now. Juju Watkins picked up her 2nd personal foul there.
For Kiki Iriafen.
Watkins loose. Steins rips it back for Washington. Hannah Steins said, give me that. Now, was there possession, though, for USC? It's at the end of the shot clock. There's a foul anyway. It's not going to matter. I was wondering if there should have been a reset based on a possession change there. 1 for 7 from three-point range for the game. USC shooting just 6 for 24. Chloe Briggs, 73% this season from the line. And that, Langley says their offensive efficiency numbers are better.
Yeah, and the reason why they started, whether it's taking charges or taking it to the rim, she's a really key part of the offense. And the more guards you have, typically the more offensive firepower you have too.
See if Juju can get going. She has 8 on USC's second 3. Coming off a 21-point team-high effort in Washington's tough, close 1-point loss against Oregon on Wednesday. This is the end of the shot clock. Smith puts it up just before the buzzer. Rebound, Heckel, put back 2. Juju with those large strides. She slipped on the ground, managed to outlet the ball, kick it out to Smith, who is called for an offensive foul, clearing out.
Yeah, just an awkward possession kind of there for USC. Going full speed is Juju. Not quite enough with 8 points. Much better job in the first half is Washington right now than what she did against UCLA with single coverage for the most part against the Bruins in the first half when she had 25.
In the UCLA game, that 25-point effort in the first half, her highest score.
And USC leading the country in block shots per game with 7.3.
They had 13 a season best against UCLA. Difficult shot for Xavier Sellers.
And the usage rate for her is down a little bit this year, but she is still such an impact player on the defensive end, always.
Yeah, usage rate is possessions that end with you attempting a field goal, a free throw, or turning the ball over. So it's whenever the possession ends with you holding the ball, %. But she is fit more into a defensive role. Last in the conference in free throw attempts per game. USC is second and approaching 1 minute to go in the second quarter. Tie game. Again, end of the shot clock. El Ladine off the mark.
And USC steps out of bounds.
USC spent a lot of time working on baseline out of bounds stuff today defensively. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. They said Washington loves to run those actions on the baseline out of bounds to create some movement right underneath the hoop, get somebody open. Don't let that happen, Lindsay Gottlieb said.
They have
Smith could not be more open. Late defensive rebound for the Huskies. And with 2.9 on the first half clock, an inbounds pass from...
It's just not something we see often, especially from Washington, who's second in the Big Ten.
Can Sellers put one in late? Not quite.
In the third quarter, I mean, avoided that, obviously.
Yeah, right now, with 3, you can have her in the game and try and navigate that. 4, I think Lindsay Gottlieb would have had to take her out.
Yeah. And Xavier Sellers, smart, right? Go at the player that has 3 fouls, that is the star for this USC team.
At the very least, she can't really defend you the same way.
Exactly.
There's a foul on Ladine, it looked like. Attacking Juju Watkins.
Free throw line once, and she's got a little extra something after the play. I think she's did. This defense by Washington has not made things easy.
Falls off short. Watkins at her best in transition, sliding in, and a foul is called.
And there you go. I mean, Washington has done a good job keeping the ball out of her hands in transition.
Worth noting still, I think that there is a level of familiarity here. Right now, she's holding her wrist, something to look.
Play landing.
So we'll see if that becomes an issue. It is her non-shooting hand, but you know, Washington is familiar with USC. They're former Pac-12 rivals, unlike a lot of the teams that USC faces in conference play now.
And with all those Ivy League seniors that transferred in, so it was a different group. But they've got the smarts and the familiarity, and it's showing.
Eke wide open on the roll on the pass from Sellers.
Eke getting quite a few valuable minutes in this game. USC a little bigger, so they're going with a bigger lineup.
Watkins wanted the foul, no call. Steins pull up, mid-range, it's in. Steins going to work again. Turned back around by Iriafen. Sellers gets half a step. Smith recovers. Lost it. Sprays it out. It's Steins.
She had 28 points at Penn State just a few weeks ago, where she was 11 of 18. And look, you can just see the energy for Washington's offense.
Just rolls out for Ledeen, but an offensive rebound. Eke, and Ledeen cashes in. As well, Watkins stepping all the way through, throws up a tough one, gets it back. Ball never hit the rim. Howe has to make a play, realizes it, hits the rim, chases it down. Good play by Avery Howe. Now Watkins sets it up for Akun Wafo, who has...
That was a game-winning play right there, and all these defensive possessions. That's what's going to get USC back into this game, getting more opportunities.
And Akun Wafo plays on more of a matchup basis. Line drive three. Oh, it bounces in for a Briggs.
And that is a player who worked so hard to change her shooting form a little bit in the offseason.
Big answer for Heckel, the talented freshman from Long Island. Eke one-on-one. Watkins late close. Rimmed out for Hannah Steins, and it stays with the Huskies. Huskies have played a tough schedule this year. They've had so many games where the ball hasn't bounced their way, and they've had close losses against top-ranked teams. Could this be a different story tonight? Smith has other ideas.
And kind of a dose of the same medicine in transition.
Heckel reaching in.
Not the baseline for another open three, and here you see Savia Sellers gets called for kind of a push.
Hard to tell.
Fair call. I mean, transition, and it's anybody's game, right?
Bailey Heckel, open three in the corner. Had some looks in the corner against the Washington defense. Watkins can't get it. Marshall can.
Yeah, 4 of 17 from 3 is USC.
Oh, miscommunication. Heckel cut in.
Yeah, just changing things up, changing the vision that Juju sees. That's really the only way to make life difficult for her, is just possession by possession of the court and providing almost like a double team out of a zone.
Crossover to reject the screen. Sellers in rhythm.
Left dribble into a mid-range shot. Savia.
Oh, Watkins, a massive answer to cut this game to 3. And Lindsey Gottlieb remarked that no one faces more scrutiny than Juju. Foul called on Iriafen, with Briggs in the corner, making USC close out to her, a sign of her improved.
It's never like hands up in the air screaming.
No.
And that same reverse, like the most passionate I've seen her, claps her hands and she's saying, yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen her that juiced.
Well, I thought you were going to say too.
California, where Juju is from, she gives back to the community. 2 watts. Juju's good Juju give backs.
Heckel earns 2. Nice. Those are USC's 2 best players. Chloe Briggs, the only player for the Huskies with 3. Sellers gets the roll.
Credit Tyra Eke, great.
Watkins at the controls, down by 5. Yes, Juju Watkins gets USC back within 2. In 2-point range, she's 3 for 5 from 3, just 5 of 13 from the field.
And Steins chasing her over both of those screens.
Daniels rocks into one. Iriafen on the pass from Von Ohoffen.
Iriafen relocates to the perfect spot.
Sellers, left, wide open with a runway.
And a potential quad 2 game. And
Kennedy Smith, USC back within 1. Short there on a great move by Delea Daniels. Iriafen running the other way. USC takes the lead and 1 for Kiki Iriafen.
That's just a tough 2.
First lead since the first quarter. The Trojans really like the complexion of their schedule to the rest of the way. They play on the road here today and then They are home the rest of the regular season, with the one exception being the UCLA game, which it's no travel there for them.
Hallway Pavilion is going to be wild, though, just like it was for USC, the home game. But Washington is 13th right now. Top 15 teams go to the Big Ten tournament.
That is going the other way. USC has finally broken through a bit, though, offensively. They're 4 for their last 4 from the field. 6 straight points. Watkins gets herself open. Tough loose ball. Iriafen tries to save it. Good effort from both Iriafen and Steins. By the ball-hawking Kennedy Smith, USC's best on-ball defender, is just a freshman. Sellers makes the 3.
We talked about it in the pregame show on Big Ten Network. She's one of the most exciting players in this conference for that reason.
Kiki Iriafen finds the roll in the championship.
She's from the city of LA, kind of coming home from Stanford.
And she gets herself a 2-point basket coming off the timeout.
It's a good call.
Not what they wanted necessarily, but it's stolen. Here comes Kennedy Smith, and USC is up 5.
2 minutes left. Down 5.
Nice crossover. Sellers, killer crossover. Kennedy Smith. Oh, it's good. Kennedy Smith, the freshman.
A pretty wide open window to hit that 3, her second.
Sellers, big time response.
Sellers on Kiki Iriafen.
Iriafen face up, and USC back up 2. In trouble after that pass. Sellers picks up the loose ball. What a reaction by Savia Sellers. Ledeen is open. Not quite. Briggs crashing, foul on USC with Sellers gets a 3 off. Another crash by Daniels to keep it alive. Steins backs up into a 3. Washington, all sorts of opportunities, cannot cash in. Here's Marshall all the way ahead. Blocked by Daniels, but a late whistle.
Freshman Lindsey Gottlieb really loves, especially for her defense. Said, I've never seen a freshman come in and defend like Kennedy Smith can defend.
Huskies need a 3 here. Sellers with a look. It's in! It's a 1-score game and a quick timeout by USC with 11.7, but Savia Sellers said
they're in that bonus situation. Obviously, USC advanced the ball, get it in, and get it into a good free throw shooter.
And we'll probably want to either try to foul Smith or Rhea Marshall would be their top 2 choices to foul out there. Howell using time and finally fouled with 9.3.
For UW in that situation, but exactly what USC wanted. And even when Vonelhoffen saw that Kennedy Smith was open near the baseline, she was still sort of looking for Howell.
Well, it's moot. I mean,
it's even more time.
Okay, they get it to Sellers, save some time by getting her the ball so far up the court. Sellers missed the shot, and Watkins is fouled with 3.5, so that is going to do it. USC.
Heckle.
I mean, you ask Lindsey Gottlieb, though, she can't say it enough, even after Juju's epic game against UCLA.
Late game, make a comeback.
They can win pretty, they can win ugly. High scoring, low scoring.
Road environment, home environment. I mean,
and not a bad play there at the end of the game clock, but it was a 5-point game. Too little, too late either way. But what an effort from Washington in this one. Had the lead most of the way. USC holds on in Seattle.
Crucial 4th quarter offensively. They got going in transition, and Washington didn't have an answer for Kiki Iriafen. Showed a lot of fight.
That's going to do it for us here in Seattle. USC on